Hi, this is an interesting question. It says f of x is equal to x minus a to the m, x minus b to the n. Find the value of x, or all values of x, such that f prime, can't really see the prime, f prime equals 0. So we can see here that we have a product rule. So f prime of x is equal to first derivative of the second plus the second times the derivative of the first. Okay, this whole piece has to equal 0, and basically I have to solve for x. Now, you can sort of see here that I've got an x minus a piece here, I've got an x minus a piece here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out an x minus a to the something. The question is, what is it? Well, this is to the m power, and this is to the m minus 1, so they're basically the same except for just one more piece of x minus a. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out x minus a to the m minus 1. I'm also going to do the same thing for x minus b to the n minus 1. And then, what am I left with? Well, if I factor out x minus a to the m minus 1 from here, I'll be left with just x minus a. And don't forget my n. That whole piece has been pulled out. Plus, same thing here, x minus b to the n. I've factored out to the n minus 1, so I'll be left with just an x minus b to the 1 power. Don't forget my m. And this whole piece came out already. So parentheses equals 0. Now let's just do a check real quick. If I multiply this through, this whole piece through, bring this in, I've got an x minus a to the m minus 1 plus 1. That's to the m. And then this piece is new. It goes there. And same thing, x minus b to the n minus 1 plus 1 is to the n. So it looks good to me. Alright, so right away I can see that x is equal to a and x is equal to b. If I plug in a here, plug in b here, that's two values. Now we also have this other piece. So that's x n times x minus a plus m x minus b equals 0. Expand this, I get nx minus na plus mx minus mb equals 0. And pair the x's, n plus m times x, and then move this piece and this piece over. We have na plus mb, and then finally we get x is equal to na plus mb over n plus m. So I wanted to make sure that I did this correct, so I went over to Grapher and I typed in, made up some values. So x minus 2 cubed times x minus 4 to the 5th. So you can see here right away that I've got a 0 at 2 and a 0 at 4. So that would be x equals a and x equals b. And then I plugged in all these m's and n's, b's and a's into x equals. Just made an x equals. And I wanted to see that it went through that minimum right there, and sure enough it did. So you're correct.